Hey anglers, we got great temps, and that means one thing. It's time for spring river fishing. It's time to get out there and chase those walleyes, those pike, those smallmouth, hit those dams, those spillways, those river seams. And I just want to show you a little bit of some tips and tactics this spring, so hopefully you guys can get out there and catch a few more and put them on the stringer. Usually when it comes to spring river fishing and fishing spillways and dams and etc., I'm throwing a lot of jigs and plastics. So I'm just going to kind of show you what I like to throw when it comes to jigging for walleyes. First thing I'm going to have is some sort of a medium light rod. What I've got right here is an Abu Garcia Venerate. This is a 6'3". It's a little shorter than most of my rods. I prefer something that's a 6'6" to a 7 foot, but the 6'3" does a really nice job. It's a medium light, fast action rod. This is the Abu Garcia Venerate. Awesome rod. One of my go-tos now when it comes to walleye river fishing. You'll see for a reel on here, I've got the Abu Garcia Revos, 6x20. Anything size-wise in the 2000s, 2500s, 3000 size is a good walleye river reel. For line, I'm running Fireline or Power Pro. I like to run something between 8 to 12 pounds for my braid, and then I am running a swivel with fluorocarbon leader on there. With river fishing, you're going to get some snags, and that's where those fish like to hide out. So that's part of the deal when you go river fishing. I like to have that fluorocarbon as a leader, so I'm not tying straight to braid. I know some people do. For my fluoro, I'm running 6 to 8 pound fluoro. On here right now, I've just got a 1/8 ounce gold jig and a Power Grub chartreuse twister tail. If you're unsure of what to throw, you can't go wrong with the twister tail, either in a chartreuse or white color. So don't overthink it. 1/8 ounce is a great size as well. So that's what I'm throwing for my rod and reel. Let me go through some of the plastics, the jigs, and some of the other things I like to throw when it comes to river fishing for walleye in the spring. So first thing is the jigs themselves. I like the gold color. I will say if you don't have something that's painted, you don't have a chartreuse, a white, a pink, etc., orange, whatever, lead jigs will work just fine. You'll still catch walleyes, you'll still catch fish with lead jigs. It's not a huge problem. I do like the gold one as a go-to color. I'm throwing usually an 1/8 ounce or a 1/4 ounce is probably my go-to weights for jig sizes. This 1/8 ounce size will get you by in most cases if you're fishing some of those slack water spots. If you're fishing heavier current, maybe some deeper spots, some deeper water, you got more wind, things of that nature, it might be good to go up to a 1/4 inch and throw that as well. Some of the plastics I'll share with you guys. The Beef Fishing Authentics plastics are really popular, and they're great baits. And the reason they're popular is because they help you catch walleyes. A couple examples I've got here tonight. I've got the Firecracker here in the paddle tail. This is about a 3.5 inch bait. And I've got the white with the silver flake. This is the Moxie. The Moxie has just a little bit of different action here on the tail versus the paddle tail. It's kind of like that ringworm style tail to it. So those are both great plastics. Let me see what else I've got to show you here. If you're wanting to throw something in chartreuse, this is a paddle tail swim bait style, 3.5 inches. This is a mini swammer from X Zone. Great plastics, check them out. I've got the classic pearl with a silver flake. Really popular color, especially on the river. Trying to match that shad color there. If you're throwing some of those more popular colors like white, chartreuse, purple, and you're not getting hit, try a couple different things. Downsize. Go to a smaller bait. Don't throw just the 3 inch, the 4 inch, the 5 inch. Maybe go down to a 2.5 inch bait and see if you can't get hit. Those crappie sliders can be a great plastic as well when you're fishing for walleye in the spring. Another thing to try going to more of an earthy color. So I've got here this little swim bait paddle tail in more of an earthy color, so such as like a green, a brown, an orange. One thing with the spring, you'll have some of those insects and those other animals coming out from the ice as well. So your crawfish, your frogs, your toads, those types of animals have more of an earthy color to them. So if you're not getting bit on some of your more classic traditional colors, try going to an earthy color. If you're not getting hit on plastics in general, try throwing some jerkbaits. I got a big old husky jerk here. This is a UV pink, and I know these are $7, $8, $9 a pop. And trust me, I feel the pain too when I tie them on. I'm afraid to lose them, especially when I'm fishing the river. But you're not going to catch fish if you don't throw them out there. And these husky jerks, these stick baits, they can work fantastic, especially if the plastics aren't. Your jerk baits, your blade baits, your rattle traps, rip and wraps, those can be great fish catching machines as well. If you're using a lot of jerk baits that you're bringing fishing with you, try something like this groove tackle box. This is what I use to organize when I'm going on a quick river fishing trip. Keeps them all nice and secure, not tangled with one another. I will throw a lot of flicker shads. I've got one here. This is more of the shad type color. Got a red nose on it. Fire Tiger is a good one to throw. Like I said before, I do like on a cloudy day, I've got more of a purple with a gold belly here. So just experiment with some different colors and see what the fish want. Let's see. One other thing I wanted to show you guys is if you're bringing jigs, you know, sometimes we carry our jig heads in different tackle boxes. They get chipped, they get knocked around, etc., etc. Groove makes a nice jig box as well. This has not been organized, so I'll be the first to tell you I need to get in here and organize this stuff. But you can see all my jigs, you know, not knocking against each other. Got them all in here nice and secure, ready to rock and roll for going out to the river. So check those out. And don't drop them on your floor like I just did. Hopefully some of these tips and tactics are helpful for you guys. I'd like to hear some of the tactics you guys use as well. If you have questions, please put them on here on the video. Otherwise, comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the insight you guys have. Until next time, tight lines, everyone.